So I got a quick story for you guys. Okay. So this one night I was working late and I had walked into this 7-Eleven and it was a 7-Eleven and it was this black lady in there. She had on all red, okay? And she was drunk. She even smelled like alcohol, a little bit. It wasn't too strong, but you could tell she was a little drunk. And she was wearing all red. She was a black woman, and so I walked in, got what I was there to get, and this lady was just smiling at me, looking at me. And so then I can't remember what she said to me, but I just decided to keep it cordial and talk to her respectfully like you do anybody else. So then she asked me could she have a hug. She told me she loved me. And at this point in my mind, you kind of thinking, okay, this woman she just on one, right? But she says, oh, can I tell you something? She says, I love you. And guys, it was the way she was looking at me. Okay, like when strange stuff happened to me when I'm out and about, I don't just pay attention to the whole physical setup of it. Sometimes you gotta look a little deeper to fix something, like what's really going on here. You know what I'm saying? So she told me she loved me. It was like she knew me too. It was strange. It's like she knew me. You know what I mean? Um, Again, the spirits, man, alcohol. But it was like she knew me, and she says, can I tell you something? And um, she was like, I love you. But guys, it was the way she said it. She said it in a way like I didn't know who she really was, type of way, right? Like in my eyes, she was like she had to be like she was in her late 40s. She was in my eyes, she was just some you know drunk lady in the store, okay? But the way she was looking at me was like she knew who I was, and she was so happy to see me and wanted to tell me a message, like really, really bad, okay? And so she said, and then of course you think twice about it. You're like, hey, should I get this drunk lady a hug? Spirit and something in my mind said, man, get a lady a hug. You know what I mean? Like, just give her a hug. And so when I gave her a hug, she just kind of held me real tight, right? And she just seemed so happy to see me. Like she knew who I was. I can't get over that. She knew who I was. Okay. Now, here's the finality of this story, guys. So when I left out of the store and I got in the car, all of a sudden I noticed how good I felt. Like, because I remember being tired. It was late at night. And so when I got back in the car after that hug, I noticed I felt like $1,000,000. Like, I just felt really, really good. I mean, like really good. Like, okay, what the hell just happened here? Okay. I just felt really, really good. It felt like my whole body had been like just rejuvenated with this wonderful, wonderful energy. It was almost the type of, if I can relate it, it was almost the type of feeling that I would feel when I like go sit in the car after getting a massage. Like, and I'm talking about a Swedish massage, not a rough, like one that really was to make you feel good. I felt that kind of good. And I'm just like, I pay attention to everything, guys. Y'all know me. And I'm just like, yo, like, why do I feel like that? Like, feel so good. And you really notice it too, because, the situation, here I am. I just want to, excuse me, I just want to finish up the night. I had been out for hours. I'm tired, and this lady hugs me who I really didn't want to hug. And then when I get out to my car, I feel like $1,000,000 freaking. I mean, it felt like, what the hell? I knew something was off. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why do I feel this good? Now, I bring that up to say this. Let's just forget about the lady and who she was and who she could have been or whether she knew me or no. We're not getting into all that. I wanted to leave y'all another Bobby Hemmett link, because last time I left the link of Bobby Hemmett Babylonia, the future of love and sex. It was only a 54-minute clip, but I want to leave you guys the 3 hour and 30-minute clip here, because he makes so many interesting points about, loving, the love between, a man and a woman, spouse, type thing, your lover. And yeah, he just makes so many good points. It really is worth watching the whole thing. Matter of fact, some of the people who watch Bobby, some of them, a lot of people will call it one of his greatest lectures of all time. I mean, because one of the most important relationships most of us are going to have in our life is, relationship you have between a man and a woman, your spouse. That's the one you're going to spend a lot of time with the most, all the way up into your dying years. At least that's how it's supposed to go. So I just thought this lecture was extremely important and a good time to bring it up too. So I said, let me go ahead and sneak that story in. And somewhere in this video, before I go, I just want to tell you, I can't find it. You guys have to watch the video. I can't spoon feed you all the time. But one thing I remember he mentioned in that lecture, we in a society where we all focus on the sex and the climax and all that type of stuff. Sometimes we forget the simplest things can make you actually feel the best. So I thought it was good. That's why I thought it was a good thing to make this video, tell y'all that story, and then leave the real link of the video that I want y'all to see. Okay. But I remember this part in the video where he talked about. He said he was talking to the guys, and he was like, "There's a certain way you can love, like you can really love on your woman. Like he said, you can hug her a certain way. Like if you just hold her real tight." Like, and he clutched up, like, and like if you just give your woman a hug and you hold her real tight, he says it's a way you hug her where it's like literally you can open up like all her chakras, like literally she will fall in love with you just from that hug. And the way she felt, he said, if you just hold her, the way he said it too, it's just like, if you just hold her tight, you know what I mean? So I just thought that was a good point to bring up. Again, in a society where we think that sex is the most important thing, and sometimes, it could just be a hug that can really, and some of y'all know this already, but still, it's very relevant to bring this up, and it needs to be brought up over and over again, because I do believe that, yeah, there is a lot of power in a hug because of what I experienced with that stranger in the store that night. So and that happened way after I actually watched the lecture. So the two were just, they go hand in hand. And the story, I definitely have to tell y'all that story. But yeah. And it's funny too, because a man, like, you don't really start looking at women that way until you get older. And it's not that your dick stop working, because trust me, mine still work real good. Okay. But it's like when I see women now, like when I see pretty women now, the way that I feel inside, like the way I love on them, is like security, protection, like actually holding them tight like that. You know what I mean? Like again, when you start getting older, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's different for some people, but for me, you start looking for more avenues to please that woman that you adore so much, other than just the sex, because we all know, man, sex can get played out. I don't care how beautiful a woman is, sooner or later you're not going to desire her that way, like that. So I want to, my next relationship, I want to approach it like a little differently, where I start appreciating the simple things first, because all these years, being a man, it's all about the sex, yeah, and of course, like I said, it still works great, even better than ever. But I just want to explore other avenues, because that's how I actually think. Like every time I roll up on a pretty woman, like I think that's another reason women like me so much like that, because they can kind of sense that I've reached that level of love that it's almost like they kind of expect that for me. Like they can kind of see that energy on me. Like they know that the love that I have inside that I would give them would be so good. Like, just like they can actually imagine me hugging them like that. I don't know. You know, women are very intuitive, man. I told y'all about how women were acting real bizarre. Women are very intuitive. We as men, sometimes we underestimate how intuitive a woman really is. You know what I mean? Very intuitive. So if they're very intuitive, and I'm telling y'all, like, this type of love that's expanding within me, then some of them probably can really see me and sense that I got that kind of energy. And it's like very, that kind of energy is very, very attractive and addictive. That'll make a woman think about cheating on her husband. She roll up on another man that got that kind of energy. You know what I mean? And women can't feel that shit. They can just feel when a man got that kind of love in him. So I think Marvin Gaye displayed that a lot in his songs too. So I just wanted to tell y'all that, and I'll go ahead and leave this link, and I will holler at y'all later. All right? Peace.